Hello. Hello. How are you all doing? I know, sir, you have missed me small, you know. I was engaged in some small thing, but I'll be with you very soon to explain things. But as you know, the program is called Talk Shop, where we tell it like it is and let the chips fall where they may. Very, very important that we should tell like it is and let the chips fall where they may. And at the end of the day, the question that I ask all the time, folks, what time is it? And the answer I'm almost all the time is, it's nation time, it's nation time, it's nation time. And like I always say again, truth crashed to earth shall always rise again. And it is nation time. Now, when we talk about nation time, every day is that let's focus on building this nation. Because I tell you, folks, I tell you, if we build Ghana, you'll be surprised. Folks, why not? At one point in our history, we are ahead of Singapore. We were far ahead of Singapore. Ghana for. So what happened? And that will be a show for another time. But when I say nation time, I want us all to start understanding that we can be as brilliant, as excellent, as good as where Singapore is, because we used to lead them. But that's not the topic for today. It's a topic for another time. Today, I'm going to be talking, you know, that right now, what is confusing all of Ghana is this ECG mess. This ECG mess, or should I call it ECG loot, and all this mess. We're going to be talking about that. But before then, please, before we get there, you know, I've been missing for a few days, and the reason I've been missing is because I am, you know, I do my shows like this, and there's also another thing that I do. I'm a performer, if you will. I'm an entertainer.
Very soon you'll be in a car and you're going, yes, no for. You know this song, Some Girls Are Dangerous? You know that song? Yeah, back in the day, you can't play that song and get ladies to dance. They'll be too upset. When you bet on Bono, they're dangerous saying. These days, you put Some Girls Are Dangerous, you see the yeah, Some Girls Are Dangerous. The girls are dangerous.
And many of you do not know, but my first professional show was in 1976. It was called Mellow Madness. That's my first professional show. Many of you don't know. So I'm just saying that part of me is a performer, an entertainer. And coming up very, very soon, folks, look at this ad for a second.
Live at the Kempinski Hotel on Easter Saturday, 19th of April, the icon of comedy has resurrected. He is back in a vintage KSM masterpiece. Old age is a BITC. Limited tickets available from April 1st. A night of music and fashion. Eat good food and digest with laughter. Talal, Lexi, Chemical, and Vienna will pass through this Easter Saturday, 19th of April, 7 p.m. prompt. Eat, dance, and laugh with KSM Masterpiece. Old age is a BITC. KSM is crazy.
Yeah, so this is the beginning. There are a few more to come, but it's going to be at Kempinski, and I expect all of you, Charlie, all our Ghanaians who are abroad, who are going to be Ghana, who are going to be in Ghana during the Easter, you can't miss this show. Old age is a BITCH. You can't miss it all. So take a note, and I'll give you a number before I leave that you can call if you want any information on this show. Actually, the number is on your screen right now. Okay. So, thank you and welcome back. Now, let's start the show. Folks, nation time. One of the things you have been encountering lately is like the mess, the rot in the system. And especially because the president, His Excellency Mahama, has come and he says, I'm going to recover all the loot and I'm going to clean up the mess. There's a lot of that coming. Stuff that has been messy, stuff that has been looted, and things like that, that as a nation, we should all be very, 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 very concerned. And let me say this, folks. When I come here every time and I talk about nation time, this is why. Trust me, Nipa. As a human beings, we are all human beings, and we all take advantage. There's something that they say generally, that people will do what you inspect and not what you expect. Write that down. If you haven't heard it already, I'm sure you have. People will do what you inspect and not what you expect. That is the human nature. That is human nature. So long as people know that they can get away with things, many people say, oh, shall I say, when I do this crime, nobody's going to inspect me. Oh, then let me do this. Or when I do this, I can get away with it. Even though I am not expected to do that, I don't care. I don't care that I'm not expected to do that. I will do that anyway, because why? After all, nobody's going to inspect it. Nobody will know. So why not? Now, folks, this is a basic human nature. All of us come into that category of, so long as we can get away with something that will not be inspected, we will. A friend of mine was joking and said, Charlie, the most important commandment to all of us is the 11th commandment. You know the 10 commandments. We all know the 10 commandments. My friend said, Charlie, you forget about all the 10 commandments. So the most important commandment that we all want to adhere to, do you know which commandment is that? The 11th commandment? Thou shalt not get caught. Seriously, this is like a joke. But I say the most important commandment is thou shalt not get caught. End of discussion. So look, so long as you are not caught, you continue to engage in the things as much as you can. That is human nature. That is human nature. People will do what you inspect and not what you expect. That is human nature. What am I saying with all this long talk about this? This is what I'm saying. Whether the person is CPP, whether they are NDC, whether they are MPP, whether they are UGM, whatever. I just want Nipa. Folks, listen to what I'm saying. Whatever the person is, so long as they know that they will not get caught, so long as they know that what they are doing will not be inspected, because there's no transparency, because there's no accountability, what will happen? They will do it. Or your NDC knew, or your MPP knew, they will all take advantage. I'm saying all of this because I'm saying this, folks, that when you look at the rot going on at ECG, can you imagine that you can import and they come up and say, we are missing 1,300 containers of imported electrical items? How does that work? How do you import a total of over 2,000 containers? And you have seen the container bakunya, and then 1,300 are missing. How does that happen?
A list of containers that ECG has, as containers you have at the port, to be 2,491. That was the list they gave us, 2,491. However, when we visited the port and counted the ECG containers there, we got 1,134. 2,491 is the list we were given. We got 1,134, leaving out about 1,328 containers that could not be accounted for.
It happens because we have a system where there's no accountability. We have a system where there's no transparency. We have a system where there are no structural pillars that can guard against these loopholes. And all I'm saying is this, folks. Whether it's MPPU, whether it's NDCU, whether it's UGMO, when they come and they see that this system allows for that, when they come and they see that no one is inspecting. Oh, really? There's no inspection here, so I'm free to do what I want, then I'll do it. No, I'm not saying this to say that if it's political, forget it. No, I'll be crazy to say that. I'm not saying that this only happened when NDC was in power, so let's go for them. It happened when MPP was in power, let's go for them. It happened when Juan was in power, let's go for them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this, that so long as we don't adjust these structural weaknesses, so long as we don't find these loopholes and seal those loopholes, trust me, it can be any party, they will come and they will do evil. Folks, and this is what we're talking about now. And the narrow parochial minded people, they will try now apportion it to a particular party. Yes, folks, listen to me. If a party has done it, and there's evidence that under a particular party these things happen, deal with it. Let the law take over and punish them according to the law, whichever party. I'm talking this for you to understand. Say, I'm not saying anything should be how do you call it? We should curtail the punishment because of certain parties. No, all I'm saying is that the important thing is that let us find out how is it possible, if it's MPPU, if it's NDCU, how is it possible that we can import over 2,000 containers, and how is it possible that 1,003 of them can get missing?
2,491 is the list we were given. We got 1,134. Leaving out about 1,328 containers that could not be accounted for.
Who is behind it? Who's at the port that is checking things that are coming in? If I want to go to the port to find out, Charlie, how many containers has ECG, water, whatever they are, who can I go to say, Charlie, give me the list? And they can give me the list, say, these are the list, KSM. This is what has come into the ports. These are all documented. It's all on our database. Who is in charge? Obviously, there's somebody is in charge who doesn't give a hoot. Why? Because nobody will inspect it. And that's why all these cartels are coming up. Trust me, it's just the tip of the iceberg. As we go on and on and on, you're going to find more and more and more about these cartels who are entrenched in all these institutions, who are entrenched when it comes to all these procurement things. Right now, I am saying this. There needs to be serious investigation, folks. That's how we build the nation. There needs to be serious investigation, and whoever is affected, cut them down like there's no tomorrow. Send them to jail if you have to. Whatever you need to do, punish them to the fullest extent of the law. And when the human beings, when we people start realizing, say, Charlie, the law does not spare anyone who is doing it. Trust me, whether that person is MPPU, NDCU, CPPU, investigate it. That's how we build a nation. Not the partisan way. The things that annoy me most is when we do all we can, say, Charlie, a party way, yeah. Party way, then the next party who comes in will do the same. Because nobody is inspecting, and we don't do what people expect. I mean, this crisis has come. And we have all heard it there. Afenyo King used to be the chairman of ECG. And Muhammad Dupi Kukaho, Napo Ukaho. Names are coming. And if these names are in fact guilty, yes, fine. Let's go ahead and prosecute and investigate. But I'm saying that our immediate reaction should be, are there loopholes? There's something that Afenyo King said in Parliament. I want you to listen to him, and then we'll come back. Listen to this.
ECG. I had the privilege of chairing the board in July. Because I'm a businessman, the first question I ask myself is that how can ECG award a contract? And when the contract is awarded, all the person does is deliver at the port, present bill of lading, and request for payment. I said, with the greatest respect, I don't want to use a word. This is Parliament. I was shattered. I said, how? And ECG would have to pay. So I realized that ECG was paying a lot of bills when they have not even had access to the goods. And when you ask them, I asked the procurement manager, director of procurement, a question. I said, why did he say, oh, chairman, this is the practice since. This is the practice. The time has come. This politics, somebody says MPP, NDC, it's a system problem that I will any day support this minister to embark on reforms. How come containers at the ports, containers that have arrived, the bureaucracy at our ports, they say the containers are missing. Mr. Speaker, it is true that when these containers come, there is some connivance with some customs officials, and they sell these containers, these cables that ECG needs after the supplier has been paid. They sell the container, and then people resell back to ECG.
There we go. Say Paul is not true. These allegations have been made. He says there are people in customs that are conniving with ECG. This is a big allegation which must be investigated to the fullest extent of the law immediately. Listen to this, oh. There are people in ECG. Who are they in ECG? Who are the people in ECG? Is it the procurement people? Is it the chairman, the director? Who is it in ECG who has been able to connive with those in customs to create this loot and filth? Who are they? Now, these custom officers, who can tell me what parties they belong to? Are they no members of the same old parties that Yetiade and Tokano? Where do they belong? Folks, that is what we should start thinking now. So I'm saying, Charlie, Lady Justice, be blind, close your eyes, and investigate this thing. And whoever they are, from ECG and from the customs, who obviously are working with a cartel, find them, smoke them out. Find them and smoke them out, and let them face the full rigors of the law. That is only that action will let people understand. Say, Charlie, like joke, things are being inspected. We are a betcho. That is human nature. Before, sometimes they talk about, oh, when I go to the US, there's law. The law works. Do you know why the law works in the US? When it works, do you know why? Because there's inspection. They have got in the US what they call the alternate side of the street parking. So there's a law that on this day, you don't park on this side of the street. You park here. And then on certain days, you park on the alternate side. So there's a law, alternate side of the street parking. And guess what? There are people who will come and inspect that you have been parked on the right side of the street. If not, ubenya ticket. Your short ticket, they are not there. Ask your friends, your family, and all your relatives in the US, Canada, where they have systems. They will tell you. They have toll booths that are equipped with cameras and everything. And when you get to the toll booth, you're supposed to show your car, and the toll booth, the gate will automatically open for you. And then you go. Before the cards came, you have to throw in some change, some coins in the machine for the gate to open before they became digital. People will go and avoid so they don't pay the change. And guess what? Pictures are taken of the car. By the time you come home the next day, you find a ticket in your mailbox. Your car, no, your address, you send you a ticket. This is a system that is consistently and continually inspecting. Will you go and mess around? When they say today is alternate side of the street parking, you can't park here, you can only park there. Are you going to park where you're not supposed to park? No! Somebody's inspecting. So, Patriot, all I'm saying is that when we talk about, Charlie, when you go to the US, they are disciplined. When you go to Canada, they are disciplined. All these advanced countries, they are disciplined. No, they are no different from us. The only thing that makes us different and the only thing that makes us not disciplined is that nobody does any inspection. Nobody does any inspection. And so long as they are not doing inspection, then what comes in? The 11th commandment. You won't get caught. I can park anywhere, I won't get caught. My park here, then I go. If there's no inspection, you won't get caught. So if you're expecting me, KSM, that I'm going to obey the law simply because so I obey the law, you are lying. Yeah, for the most part, they are very, very decent people who will do that. I'm saying for the most part. But generally, the average person will get away with whatever they can get away with. So folks, as this thing has come and there's all this talk about the rot in the ECG, and I'm glad that it has come because we have to use it as a case point to study things. Is this ECG rot, this connival, this cartel, a result of the fact that we don't have laws? We don't have anything to inspect. Everything is open. You can do whatever you want. Trust me, if that is the reason they are, then forget. Because party biaba obey. The party that will not do it is the only party that will come and say, me, I won't do anything and focus. That probably is the party that is from heaven, that has been founded by maybe the angels of heaven. If there's anything like that. But I'm telling you, if Ghana who have grown up in the system, we the ordinary Ghanaians who know the system, who know that you can get away with everything, who know that the biggest law in this country is that shall not get caught, you think that does not actually play a role in our lawlessness? You think so? That is the pivotal point. That is the vital point where Ghana is so lawless. And I'm here to do the show. But I'm you know this program, my producer will not permit me to come and sit here and talk anything and go. He wants to make sure that we have evidence to show and back before I open my mouth. The producer was hard. Or not a woman, now I'm back. I've been started playing tennis here, but I'm back, man. The producer was hard. If only yes, boss. So, and you tell me politely, but boss, Pacho, this one, we don't have the evidence. We know, we've heard it, but we don't have the evidence. Then we'll hold off. So bear with me small when I've talked about law and order episode because we are gathering up as much evidence as we can. But in short, folks, in short, I am very, very, very happy that this ECG has come out. There are others coming on. Who they will say I've intercepted, whatever. Charlie, if I tell you the interceptions we have here, plenty. But I won't open my mouth until we get some evidence to back it. My producer will not let me. But those are things we have intercepted. And the rot in this country, and the loot in this country, plenty. The break, the French will say beaucoup, beaucoup, whatever. But we are not. We are holding on. So I'm saying that I'm glad that this ECG thing has come. And many are startled and we are like shocked, like what did this happen? More are coming. And this the little ECG thing that we have discovered, Charlie, we are talking billions of dollars on this waste. They have import all these containers are missing, and the what is in the containers, they are being melted and resold. Can you imagine this? You've seen some of the shots. I'm sure you're seeing some of the shots now. Look at all this which has been stolen. And they are melting this. And they are selling this to Chinese and Indian people. And Ghanaians are an integral part of this crap. I can't use the words I want to use. Ghanaians are an integral part of this crap. Look at this. All of this. And there are so many other containers we haven't even found. And everything that has been imported with the taxpayers' money. Ghana is a Canada Kotoyo. Being stolen, they've been re-smelted and ironed and sent away, and then we're going to spend some more money to import more. What are we doing to ourselves?
This has been going on from 3-4 years ago. Yeah. They were producing these products from the ECG cables. So it's not even a new thing. So you can imagine the amount of money that they have been able to get from it. And now people sell it very cheap to them. So all the cables are bought here. You can see some stack over there. So they burn it here and use it to produce all sort of different forms of the aluminium products. So that is what we have over there. So they are in the process of melting all this. So this is evidence of ECG cables.
What are we doing to ourselves? And all I'm saying this, and this is the bottom line, unless we go to the root source and check it from the root source, where the rot is boiling. Yes, here and caught the root source, and check it from the root source and solve it from there. Let the law go into action and deal with all these criminals at the root source. Unless we do that, trust me, any government to put in there, any party who comes there, when they realize that this root source cry is free for us, we can all benefit. Let us go and do it, and we benefit. So please, folks, and I'm glad this is happening, because now we can make our case for nation time even more. This rota happen, is it affecting only members of a political party? Says all this rot, the loss, the filth, is it affecting only a specific number of people from a particular political party? No, it's affecting the whole damn nation. You and I. It is affecting you and I. What have we to do with it? We didn't even know that there are tons and tons of containers that have been stolen from the ports. We have never even heard that before in our lives. But at the end of the day, you and I are the ones who are being punished. And you are the ones that are confronted with this thievery and loot. So unless we go to that cause, the root source, and solve it, What is going to happen? Party be about me. I'm telling you. And that's why I said that the only difference between us and those who are in the developed states is that they have systems that are always inspecting. We are a bit chill. How? Do you think that if you are in the UK or the US or Canada or whatever, and there are certain things you can get away with, you won't, especially with all these laws of parking and speeding, and you will do all you can if you won't get caught to get away with it? I remember when I was in the US, when I was driving, and they said the thing says 60 miles per hour. Now I'm with the 60. You know, occasionally I try and escalate it to 70 going, but I'm afraid. Why? Because I don't even know where the hidden cameras are. I probably made you feel the next day there'll be a ticket say at this point you oversped by this amount, so this is your charge. So just the knowledge that I am being inspected, and because I'm being inspected, I am going to get caught. I obey the law. So, Manafo, if we don't obey the laws in Ghana, if we do whatever we can in Ghana, if we are a country caught between lawlessness and disorder, it is only one reason. Nobody inspects anything, and we don't care. Last time I heard President Hamahama talking about the rains are coming and there's going to be flooding, you know, because as usual, people are building the waterways, they say. So he did from now on, when people build the waterways, will pull down the buildings.
I must address a deeply troubling issue: the illegal construction of buildings in waterways, causing flooding and extensive destruction of property. As we know, the rains are about to start, and already we can see flooding because people have built and blocked the rivers, and so the rivers have nowhere to go but to back up. This reckless disregard for planning regulations and environmental safety is a major contributor to the devastating floods that continue to plague our communities. I'm aware of instances where private businesses, colluding with some chiefs, are turning water retention areas, Ramsar sites, into built-up zones. Let me be clear, this must stop. Those structures will be pulled down. We will not allow a few selfish individuals to endanger the lives and livelihoods of countless others. The law will be enforced, and those who flout it will face the consequences.
This is not even the president's domain to be talking about. Why? Because if it's a country where laws work, we have the urban planners, we have the town planners, we have people who give out land for people to build, and they know, for example, that this is a waterway, so this land should not be sold. They're handful, the chiefs, they all know this land is supposed to be a waterway, where you say, so don't sell this land to private developers. No, nobody gets caught. So the land is sold to private developers who will buy it and build houses there and block the waterway. Now if they are flooded, the floods are come. You watch. Very soon we'll be hearing of people who have died in the Odo River, who have been flooded here and there, left, right, and center, mostly because most of the waterways have been blocked by people. And the land was sold them. Weren't there urban planners who can say this place is a no-go area? Folks, I'm ending my thing. So long as we continue not to inspect, but we think that people will do what you expect, forget it. There will be more rot coming from other places. So my point today, let me conclude on this, that let us decide that this ECG rot, yes, let us not turn this into a partisan issue and end it there. If it's a partisan issue for some specific things that have happened, deal with it, punish whoever you have to punish. But don't look at this whole thing as some party thing and then you leave it there. Because if you leave it there, trust me, more will come. I'm going to end here, man. All my friends in the US, Canada, Toronto, Mobaba, Ghana, I know plenty of you are coming this Easter. You want to see my ad one more time for Easter? Take a look at this.
Live at the Kempinski Hotel on Easter Saturday, 19th of April, the icon of comedy has resurrected. He is back in a vintage KSM masterpiece. Old age is a BITC. Limited tickets available from April 1st. A night of music and fashion. Eat good food and digest with laughter. Talal, Lexi, Chemical, and Vienna will pass through this Easter Saturday, 19th of April, 7 p.m. prompt. Eat, dance, and laugh with KSM Masterpiece. Old age is a BITC. KSM is crazy.
Okay, we're back. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you all this Easter. If you miss the Kempinski one, trust me, there are going to be a few others coming all over. But in the meantime, folks, let us build this nation. Let us put in all our energy to build this nation, because Kaye, if we had done the right thing, Anka would have been ahead of Singapore. We'll talk about that next time. But for now, in the meantime, in between time, Talk Shop is ending, and we'll be back again soon. And as I always end, folks, Ghana will rise again.